conference and that he had.
Take your hands out your pocket, please.
There's also 2 independent reports that are with that from eyewitnesses. He got out of the car and ran after he T-boned the car in the other lane.
Carlos, when this accident happened, you jumped out of the car and started to run?
No.
Huh?
No.
You weren't pursued by the police?
No.
Really?
Really.
Surprising. All these people must be wrong. Were you driving a green car?
That was her car, yes.
Was the other car green?
No.
The driver of the green sports car got out and ran east on Union Street. The police chased after him.
I was nowhere near Union Street. I was on Main Street.
Well, maybe if I change Union Street to Main Street, you would find it more accurate.
No, because I was parked at a Dunkin' Donuts, so I don't see where you would get Union Street if you knew the area.
I'm not talking Union Street. I'm talking about being pursued by the police, Carlos.
Regardless the fact is not about the police chasing me. The fact is that
I'm asking you a question.
And I'm answering you.
Were you pursued by the police?
No.
On foot?
No.
Afterwards? No. These people are so mistaken. In any event, this car was an old car. It was 16 years old, and according to you, it was totaled.
I have pictures of it if you'd like to see before and
Sure.
after. I'd refurbished the car for my daughter. It was in pretty nice shape beforehand.
Well, that's why Carlos wanted to borrow it. It was in nice shape. Or it was in nice shape.
Yeah, you got to the other pictures.
Now it is no longer in nice shape. Now it is a total disaster. A total wreck. Okay. You know what the book value is on the car?
Yes, Your Honor. I went online to Kelly's Blue Book, which is probably the leading authority on book values. I got 2 of them. One was a trade-in value, one was a resale value. The lower one was a trade-in value. That was the one I used, along with the towing bill. We had to get it home. She had her clothes and school books and everything inside it.
Okay, so the whole thing is $925.
For the car,
Right?
yes.
And you had, I assume, no collision insurance?
No.
Carlos, why don't you feel as if you have any responsibility for this car?
Because, Your Honor, she's lent me the car plenty of times before, not only once, more than 7 times I know she's lent me the car.
Yes.
Not only to go to court, not only to go to my sister's, but for other reasons.
Yes.
She knew how my driving was.
What do you mean, how driving was?
I'll tell you straight up, I'm a reckless driver. You know, I ain't gonna lie.
Well, let me ask you this question, Carlos. In the other 7 times that she lent you the car, were you ever in an accident?
Nope.
So that based upon your history of driving our car, she would have no reason to think you wouldn't be as careful on the 8th time as you were on the first 7 times. Let's move on to the other reasons why you don't think you're responsible.
For the simple fact that when the accident did happen and I did get in contact with her, she had told me that she was happy that I was all right and that it wasn't the other way around.
What a nice girl.
Yeah.
She was happy that you were okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Darn
And shh. I'm listening to Carlos. So she was happy you were okay, and?
And this was at another party when I had seen her, and she was like, well, let's not even talk about it. I'm here to get trashed, and that's what we did.
Okay, and?
That was about it. But she didn't contact me about no matters, nothing.
So your first defense is that when you called and told her about the accident, she said, I'm very glad you're not hurt.
He never called and told me.
Shh. That's the first thing.
Yeah. But it wasn't a phone call, it was that person.
In person. So she said, I'm really glad you're not hurt.
Yeah.
So that's your first defense. And your second defense is she knew that you weren't a good driver. And your third defense is that when you met at a party sometime later, she said, I don't want to talk about it now, let's get trashed.
Yes.
Do you go to school?
I went to college. I'm not going no more.
Well, maybe you should go back.
Why?
Because you can't speak English. I don't go no more is not English. I don't go to college anymore is English.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Gary Parker says Carlos Martinez wrecked his daughter's car while running from the police. Carlos is denying all charges.
One of the things that I find most irritating about you is that you borrowed a car, you had an accident, but it wasn't an accident. In your case, it was an on purpose, because you, on purpose, ran a stop sign, was speeding, and you destroyed her car. And instead of being a man and accepting responsibility and saying, look, I'm really sorry, I did that, you know, I will work, whatever I have to do, pay you back slowly for the cost of the car, you come up with these lame excuses and present them to me in shattered English. Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $1,125. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
She trusted me for giving me the car.
There was no reason for me not to trust him.
Right there, she's responsible right there.
We all make mistakes and accidents. You just have to own up to them and take care of them when it happens.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter of Lawrence versus Goss. Step forward, please.
Home care nurse Darius Lawrence is suing her roommate, real estate agent Ron Goss, for unpaid cleaning and landscaping services. Ron has a countersuit for unpaid rent.
Miss Lawrence, according to your complaint, you answered an ad in the newspaper for a roommate, and you moved in with the defendant. Is that right?
Yes.
And you claim a rather interesting arrangement, that you came to an agreement with the defendant that instead of paying rent, you would do housework and landscaping around the house.
What it was is I would do rent and trade with bill credit if I needed to ask.
What does that mean,
In
rent
other
and
words,
trade?
The rent was $275 plus utilities, and if I did work for him, he would give me credit off my rent and my utilities.
And your lawsuit says that you did so much work around the house that he owes you money.
And landscaping.
And landscaping that he owes you money.
And I paid products to keep the home together, and I bought food, kept the refrigerator full.
The defendant says that there was no such arrangement except for 1 month when he did give you a credit for doing some cleaning because you were short of money. He is counterclaiming not only for the rent that you owe him, but also because he says that you forced out 2 other tenants because of your bizarre behavior. So that's what this case is about. All right. When did you see the ad in the paper?
On May 4th,
When did you move in?
the 29th of May,
And what kind of property is it?
it's a house that he sold to a friend of his.
And you had your own room?
Yes.
And full use of the house? Other than that?
Yes.
When did you move out?
I haven't. We still live there together in the residence.
I'm in the process, Your Honor, of evicting her. I gave her a 30-day notice on November 3rd. She was to be out December 3rd. She didn't leave, so then I had to go and do a forced eviction. Yesterday we were at the courthouse for her to get out. She does not want to leave. She has not paid me a single dime of rent since September 8th.
So you're still living together?
Yes.
How unpleasant. Okay. Tell me about this first conversation that you had with him with regard to the rent.
He asked me what type of things do I do. I told him I'm a professional cleaner. I do landscaping, and I would do a trade private house cleaning, his laundry, his basic chores, etc. I told him I would keep the refrigerator full, do the cooking.
What kind of reduction in rent would that be?
I thought an honorable fair trade when I came to him and requested it.
Miss Lawrence, you always pick a dollar amount. If you pay someone for cleaning your home, that's so much. So you tell me, is what you're saying that you had no fixed amount that you would have your rent reduced by doing these chores?
Well, I explained to him landscaping I thought was a fair deal. Each week was $25 a week, and for a home his size, I thought $10 an hour was fair for private and professional cleaning.
Okay. And you explained that to him. You said $10 an hour for professional cleaning and $25 for landscaping. Is that what you said to him?
Yes, I explained that to him.
Just look at me. Don't look down.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you explain how many hours you thought it would take to clean the house?
No, ma'am.
You didn't. So it was sort of open-ended. If you decided to really clean for 5 hours a day or 3 hours a day, it would be $30 a day, and you did that every day. So you would keep a running tag of how much work you did in the house, and at the end of the month, you would probably be presenting him a bill.
That's what I was trying to do with him.
And so now you claim that he owes you $3,266 for the cleaning and landscaping services that you performed from May until now.
That's correct.
And for a refund of rent because you did give him some money in rent.
Yes, ma'am.
And you, of course, want that back because why would you pay him anything if you were doing all this work, right?
Well, I wasn't going to try to be greedy and want all the rent back. I just wanted a fair adjustment with him, but he wouldn't come to the dickering table and read my receipts.
And $1,650 should have been paid for rent. And how much did you actually pay him?
What I calculated I came up with is $1,200.
How much did she pay you in rent, sir?
I'd say $485 to $500 is what she gave me in the
So
settlement.
let's say $500. That's being generous.
Yes.
It's $1,100 owing on rent. Okay. Did you have a conversation, Mr. Gauze, with Miss Lawrence about doing this house cleaning for $10 an hour and landscaping for $25 an hour?
First off, Judge, she came in May 15th with no upfront rent or deposits. I told her I would take off $125 the first month to help her out, and I was to get $150 within the next month. She was getting unemployment checks at the time. She was going to pay me weekly with those checks. It was very sporadic, $30, maybe 3 weeks, $40, another 3 weeks. She never gave me a full month's rent ever. And in the meantime, I had 2 roommates move in, one June 1, which would be about 2 weeks after she came. He could only make it 2 weeks because she drove him out of the house. She likes to control the house like it's hers, and he couldn't take it. So I lost rent from him. And then another roommate came in about August. He lasted 3 weeks. He had to leave because of her also.
I'm not entertaining that part of your lawsuit,
Okay.
sir. Let's talk about answering my question. When she didn't pay you rent, say, the second month, did you have a conversation with her?
Yes, I wanted her to leave. I said I could not afford her. I said I want to rent a room for money, not for services. I could not afford her. I told her that in the summertime.
And what did she say?
She just kept assuming that I could, and she kept doing the jobs, and I wanted her to leave since August.
When you say she kept doing the jobs, did you ask her to do any work?
No, I told her I could not afford her many times. I said I just want the rent that was stated.
When, for the first time, did you tell her that you wanted her out?
I would say about 1st of August, after the second guy left. He was wanting to stay, and I was trying to get rid of her then. So it's been quite a while since I've been trying to get her out. So then I had to do it with the court process.
I'm going to go back to my initial question to you, Mr. Gauze. Did you ever sit down and discuss with her that she would charge you what she considered fair, $10 an hour for cleaning and $25 for landscaping?
No.
Did that conversation ever take place?
No.
Of course it didn't. You couldn't even look me straight in the eye and give me that line. Miss Lawrence, you moved into this gentleman's house and you have not paid rent. If another judge won't tell you, I will. He wants you to pay rent or get out. He's told you that now for 5 months. So my question to you is, why don't you move?
I paid rent. Here's my rent receipts.
Let me see your receipts. Those are rent receipts. Is that what you're showing me?
Rent receipts?
Just
Yes.
listen, before she hands me that stack of papers, are you showing me rent receipts?
Yes, ma'am.
Fine. What's this $72, the first thing?
When I give him cash, I write on the back of my receipt, I paid rent. And then I have money orders from my credit union, money orders from the check exchange, and those are the receipts.
No, those are not receipts. That's baloney. I don't know what some other judge is going to buy of your story. I don't buy this. This is a money order, and this was for $40. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Allegedly to him. Then we have some more of these $25. So every time you took cash out of a machine, you consider this a rent receipt.
What he did is took cash and money orders. He took both.
Baloney. You're a hustler. This is all garbage. Has nothing to do with rent. Now, Miss Lawrence, why don't you move? Is my question. He's not happy. You can't be happy. Why are you imposing yourself on this man and not paying rent?
Because he offered me honorable fair trade and he broke his agreement.
You're full of baloney, madam. You made up a story when you said to me that you had an agreement that he would pay you $10 an hour for cleaning and $25 for landscaping. That's baloney. It doesn't make sense. It defies common sense. I would have to say that he's a lunatic for doing that. You keep the records of how much you earn. At the end of the month, you present him a bill for $500 and say, you owe me money. I don't owe you money, you owe me money. He doesn't look like a nut to me. So your claim is dismissed. It's baloney. You owe him $1,100 in rent. On the counterclaim, that's what I'm awarding you. Goodbye.
Parties are excused. You may step in the matter of Weaver versus Cooley. Parties have been sworn in, Judge. You may be seated. Young ladies, have seats, please.
Oh, my goodness. Do you really want to be here?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, this is your complaint. Your daughter and the defendant's daughter are friends, and you were taking a trip to Hawaii. According to your complaint, you invited Mr. Cooley's daughter to accompany your family on the trip. And the arrangement was that if she were going to go with you, her mother and father, who are divorced, were going to split the cost of her basic trip.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is that right?
That's correct.
And it is your claim that Mr. Cooley, who is her father, did not pay for his half of her trip.
Yes.
Mr. Cooley said that he never had a contract with you, right?
That's correct.
That he was sort of presented with a fait accompli, that he fell on some hard financial times, otherwise he certainly would have wanted his daughter to have this experience, which she, by the way, did have. She did go with you. His defense is that he never had a contract with you. When were you planning this trip?
February of 2004 is when we first contacted them about planning the trip.
When you say them, who did you contact?
I contacted Brittany's mother because Brittany lives with her mom, and we discussed the option of her being able to go with us.
And what was the arrangement that you made with her mother?
I told her mother that we'd be happy for Brittany to accompany us because she was our daughter's best friend, and that if she would pay for just the airline flight and then the expenses of the activities such as the snorkeling and et cetera that we did there, and that we would be glad to pay for all of her food and then any of the other miscellaneous expenses. And then her mother said that she would have to contact Brittany's father to see if he'd pay for half and let us know. Then she called us and said that she'd spoke with her ex-husband, and he agreed.
Did you speak with him?
We spoke with him 30 days before the trip. He came over to our house. Not that day, not that time.
When did you go on the trip?
December.
So practically a year later.
Correct.
And it wasn't until November that you say that you contacted Mr. Cooley. Is that right?
Yes, because we were unable to get a hold of him.
Had you purchased the tickets already?
Yes, ma'am.
So you purchased the non-refundable tickets based upon the conversation you had with Brittany's mother.
Correct.
Now, you understand that up until this time you had no contract with Mr. Cooley. Do you understand that?
No, ma'am.
Well, I'm going to try to explain it to you.
Okay.
What you did was you had, at best, a contract with Brittany's mother to pay for half the cost of the trip. Brittany's mother cannot obligate Brittany's father to pay for the other half. She can't say he's going to pay for the other half and in any way obligate him. Do you have a sibling?
Yes, ma'am.
Brother or sister?
I have 2 sisters and a brother.
Okay, let's take the brother. He's easy. What's his name?
Michael.
All right, let's say Michael wanted to have his family room redone. So he went to a contractor, and the contractor said it's going to cost $10,000 to redo your family room. And Michael said, that's fine. I'm going to pay for half, and my sister promised me that she would pay for the other half as a birthday present. So you go ahead and you do this renovation for $10,000. Michael gives him $5,000 and says, go get the other $5,000 from my sister. What's your first name?
Susan.
Susan. Goes to Susan. Susan says, listen, I told him if I could, one day I would like to make a present of $5,000, but I never agreed to pay you $5,000. I didn't have a contract with you. You want your money, go to Michael. Now do you understand?
I understand that, ma'am, yes.
He may have agreed to something, but up until November, I just want you to understand you had no contract with him.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell me what happened in November.
Well, my husband spoke with him. I don't know if you want to talk to him as far
I
as
sure
that.
do.
Okay.
He's the only one I can speak to if
Okay.
he spoke to him.
I talked to Mr. Cooley about the expenses that we had occurred already, purchasing the non-refundable tickets, and that she would need $300 to $400 to pay for the incidental expenses that she would occur as far as the snorkeling, the luau, and that kind of stuff that she would need over there. And he agreed at that time that...
What did he say? Not he agreed. What
Okay.
did he say?
He said the trip sounded good, that it was a one-in-a-lifetime trip for her, that it was something that they had never, ever planned for her to do, and that he would pay his half.
He said he would pay his half.
His half.
And are those the words he used?
To the best of my recollection, yes, Your Honor.
Did he give you any money?
No, ma'am.
So when was he supposed to pay you?
He indicated that he had had some problems health-wise, and at the time he was unable to give us any money. And we told him when he got back on his feet, whenever he could pay us monthly payments or whatever have you, but basically he had us over a barrel. We had to take Brittany. We weren't going to disappoint her and not take her.
Now it's your turn.
Well, first of all, I didn't go to their house at all. My conversation with Mr. Weaver was over the phone, and that was only because in August I went on disability, and I was informing him that I was not going to be able to pay, and he had said, quote unquote, well, give me what you can, and if you can't give me anything, then that's fine, your daughter's going to go anyway. So I mentioned to my daughter that I wasn't going to be able to pay for her trip, and she was going to have to ask her mother to pay for it in its entirety.
Okay. Something that you said to me, Mr. Cooley, however, has an interesting ring to it. You said that you called the Weavers because your financial circumstances changed. You wanted to let them know that you could no longer pay your half. Is that right?
That's true.
Well, that suggests to me, sir, that you had originally told your ex-wife that you would pay for half when she originally called you in February of 2004. Are you following what I'm saying to you? Am I correct, Mr. Cooley, that you originally told your ex-wife that you would pay for half of the expenses?
That is correct. But in February of 2004, I was under the impression that I was only going to help her out on her airfare.
Fine. Let's say that's what you were told, that you were going to pay for half the airfare. Not help her out, half, because the words that you used to me were half, right?
Right.
Now, the airfare was how much?
The exact price was $729.43.
So is what you're telling me now, Mr. Cooley, that what your understanding was that you were going to pay for half the airfare, and that's what you agreed to with your former wife? Don't think of what I'm going to say after that, Mr. Cooley. Believe me, you're never going to be able to leapfrog over my mind.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
You're dealing with children. She could just as easily go to her father and say, listen, I want to go on this trip. It's $200 to go. It turns out that it's $2,000. What am I going to do, put her in jail?
And later today,
You claim that he made over $2,000 in sex calls, probably many of whom are guys talking and making out that they're women.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. Susan and Lloyd Weaver say the father of their daughter's former best friend, Mark Cooley, owes for a Hawaiian vacation.
Now, is that what you agreed to with your former wife, to pay for half the airfare?
Right. Well, to be honest with you, my correspondence with my wife, because we don't speak, has been through my daughter.
Is that what you promised your daughter?
Correct.
And your daughter, I assume, conveyed that to her mother?
Yeah.
Brittany, what did you tell your mother?
Well, I told my mom that I was going on the trip and how much it was.
How much did you tell her it was?
I told her that as far as what I knew, it was $350 that she was supposed to pay.
And you told your father the same thing?
That he was supposed to pay $350 also.
And he agreed to that?
Yes.
Good. Now you can sit down. Okay, Mr. Cooley, let us assume everything that you say is correct, that you were going to pay for half the airfare. Why didn't you pay him?
Well, in August, I went on disability, and so my whole financial situation changed.
You already said that to me. But at this point, they had non-refundable tickets, and one way or another, your daughter was going to go. Did you ever think, sir, of saying, I have to send the Weavers $50 a month because I agreed to do that? They took my daughter on a trip. I had a contract with them to pay them half, according to you. Not according to them, but according to you, half the airfare for your daughter.
When I gave them the $150, there was somewhat of an agreement that I could pay monthly.
When did you give them $150?
I gave them $150 upon them coming back from their trip.
Give me the date. You have the date?
It was January 6th, Your Honor.
And you cashed that check?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. So that's January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 6 months later. And you haven't given them any money since?
Well, in April, the tides had turned because they kind of sent me a threatening letter, or at least I thought it was threatening, informing me that we don't want any ill feelings toward you or your wife. This could affect our daughter and your daughter's friendship.
They're absolutely right. It's a very good reason for you to send a check and say, I'm sorry, I told you that finances were really tight. I realize that this is my obligation. Here's $50. Here's $30. Here is something to demonstrate that I recognize that this is my obligation. You have a letter like that?
No, I don't, Your Honor.
Well, it's the wrong thing. You did the wrong thing, sir. Mr. and Mrs. Weaver, the only contract that I can ascribe to Mr. Cooley is for half of the airfare. And I say that because that's what his daughter says that she told her mother, and she told him. So, unfortunately, what?
We sent Mr. Cooley 3 letters advising him that he still owed us money. He sent us a letter back. And in that letter, he said that it's not verbatim.
Show me the letter.
You got it, ma'am.
If what you're saying to me is he acknowledges anything more than
Yes,
The
Your Honor, it does.
airfare.
The letter's several pages long, Your Honor. The first page shows that he agreed to pay half.
Well, let
but
me
it just
see.
says to pay half of Brittany's expenses.
I believe.
The whole letter.
Uh-huh.
And, Your Honor, if I may just say one more thing. Brittany's mom paid us the $550.
I don't care
that
what
she
she
owed
did.
us, so she knew that half of it was $550.
Listen
if I
to
just
me.
might say that.
You cannot ascribe anything to him that Brittany's mother knew.
Okay, I won't say anything else
Nothing.
about that.
If you want to have a contract with somebody, you have to talk to them face to face, or you have to speak to them personally over the phone, and then memorialize it in a written document that is signed. And then it's a contract that you have between two people. If you're dealing with children, she could just as easily go to her father and say, listen, I want to be able to go on this trip. It's $200 to go. Will you pay for $200? And he says, sure, I'll pay for $200. And it turns out that it's $2,000. You've already booked the ticket, so you're out $2,000. What am I going to do, put her in jail? Of course not. That's why you don't deal with children when you're making a contract with.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Cooley, listen to me. This is all wrong, sir. You say to them, I agreed to pay one half of my daughter's expenses. And if I believe what you say it was based on me being employed. Well, that's not true. That's not true, sir. Your agreeing to pay for half of her airfare was not based upon your being employed, because you didn't have that conversation with your daughter. When you said to your daughter, I'll pay for half of your airfare, you didn't say to her, on condition that I'm still working, right?
Right.
Okay. I had no control over my going on disability, which cut my salary in third. So what? What's that their problem? That's your problem, not theirs. What's the nature of your disability?
Stress.
And you came here? I can see from this rambling letter that you are stressed, Mr. Cooley, so I won't proceed any further. You owe these people an additional $214, and that's giving you every possible benefit of the doubt, sir, that the only thing you agreed to was to pay for one half of her airfare. I mean, I think that if you wanted to be a good guy, you would say to them, listen, I don't want you to be out any money, and I don't want our daughters who were good friends to be estranged, so I'm going to make it my business to see to it that you get the extra $50 a month until it's all paid off. But from a legal perspective, I can't do that. I can, however, find that you agreed to pay for half the airfare. You have already given them $150, leaving a balance of $214. Judgment for the plaintiff. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
I don't know if it was a once-in-a-lifetime trip. It's not like she's not going to be able to go anywhere else.
Brittany's dad has a problem with this now, and so she's not really able to come over to our house.
We don't really hang out that much anymore.
I think she'd be over a lot more this summer if this wasn't going on.
We'll still be friends.
I hope that would happen.
And now the next case.
All parties in the matter, Fleischer versus McWhorter. Step forward, please.
Harriet Fleischer is suing her former tenant, Robert McWhorter, for rent and for running up her phone bill with sex calls.
Miss Fleischer, do you live in a private house or an apartment?
Private house.
How long have you lived there?
18 and a half years.
Who do you live with?
Currently I have one tenant.
What kind of work do you do, Miss Fleischer?
I'm a computer consultant.
How long have you been doing that kind of work?
Far too long. 9 and a half, 10 years.
This is your complaint. You rented a room to Mr. McWhorter, who was a friend of yours and going through some difficult times. You said that you would allow him to come and stay in your home, $100 a week, and you claim he left owing you some rent.
That's
correct.
correct.
Which is really not what you're complaining about, because he acknowledges that he owes a couple of $100s in rent. You claim that he made over $2,000 in 1-900 sex calls on your phone.
That's correct.
Mr. McWhorter said, I didn't do that. When were you living with Miss Fleischer and Mr. McWhorter?
Approximately right before Thanksgiving till the 23rd of December.
So maybe November the 20th?
Yeah, it was a Saturday when I moved in.
To December what?
23rd.
You have a copy of your phone bill?
I do. I have a
I'd
copy.
like to take a look at it, please.
I had spoke to Mrs. Fleischer when I returned from my trip, and she verbally told me over the phone, I took her word for it, I never physically saw the bills myself, that it was between 900 and 1,000.
Look at me! What difference does it make how it was 900 and 1,000? I read your answer, Mr. McWhorter. Your answer says, I didn't make those calls and I don't know who did. So is now what you're telling me, sir, that you did make these calls, you just didn't know the extent of the bill. Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
All right. Well, that's a little different from your answer. I know that sometimes I can be a little intimidating. That's a very good thing. So I don't have to go through these bills and humiliate you to see how long you stood on the line with these people, probably many of whom are guys talking and making out that they're women. Go find a nice girl, Mr. McWhorter. Get your own phone.
May I interject here, Your Honor?
Oh, if you have to.
Robert told me that he had his own phone when we made arrangements for his moving in.
Miss Fleischer, doesn't make any difference.
Okay.
His story now, after he took a look at this kind face of mine, was I acknowledge I made the phone calls, that I was stupid, right?
Very.
I was unthinking, right? Right? I'm dying to pay you and get out of here because I'm humiliated. And don't humiliate me anymore.
Yes, Your Honor.
Perfect. They could all be so easy.
There are guys pretending to be women?
Yeah, I saw that in a movie once. You know, there were guys that just raise their voice and they sit there and they make other people feel foolish. It was in some Jack Lemmon movie or something. Remember Jack Lemmon?
Remember Jack
Most
Lemmon,
people don't
yeah.
remember Jack Lemmon. I remember Jack Lemmon.
May I say something, Your Honor?
What?
I have explained to Mrs. Fleischer that I'm an alcoholic, and I did have gone through several blackout stages. That's why. No, I'm putting it on the table.
Listen,
that
I
this is,
gotcha. I understand.
And this is part of my.
Hey friends, I just want to take a quick minute to say thank you. When I started this channel, I honestly had no idea where it would go, and the fact that so many of you choose to tune in, comment, and share your thoughts with me every week is the coolest thing ever. Your support means the world. It keeps me excited to